Within the last half hour, we learned the Duluth School Board voted unanimously to put a referendum on the November ballot. The board decided that during the afternoon meeting this afternoon. You'll remember the school district sent out a survey this summer asking residents how they'd feel about raising their taxes to financially support the district. Well, we spoke with Superintendent John Magus about the possibility of a referendum earlier this year.
I know that's a hard question right now, especially with the economy being challenged and gas prices and up, but we're going to have to make some deep cuts again this coming year and the year after and keep making reductions.
Like many districts around the state, Duluth is facing rising costs that are outpacing state and federal funding. In the past 3 years, the district has cut about $12 million, and Magus says they'll have to cut an additional $14 million in 2027 and 2028 if a referendum does not pass. Again, the referendum will be on the November ballot. We'll have more on this story and what it can mean for your property taxes coming up tonight at 10 o'clock.